most Slovenian smile you would ever have seen.
What exactly are you looking for? The goals?
Keeper out and in midfield we are screwed for the season.
Decision.
As Cassani leads on him, penalty! That is a massive decision. What a huge decision given by Michael Oliver.
The glory or the upsets. Empires are built and taken down. Everyone is always on a mission. Now you sabi waiting carry you come outside.
It's a season-defining call, nothing short of that.
Tune into Echo FM 100.7 every weekday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for Echo Sports. Echo Sports. And final score on Saturday at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. with the sports chef, Noble, for fresh updates in football, basketball, tennis, athletics, and all interesting developments in the ever-scintillating world of sports. Once there is an echo, we are there on cue.
Oh my goodness, you cannot write the script for this, Rob. This is unbelievable stuff. Look at the faces that rub it.
A beautiful evening to you and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Echo Sports on Echo FM 100.7 Overwhere. My name is Kachi Sports. My friends call me Kachi Nwagogoke or Oman Wesabi. And I'm here this evening with no other person but Nobo, the sports chef. Nobo, good evening to you.
Good evening, Kachi. Good evening to everyone listening to us, be it on Facebook, be it via your radio, be it on site. Know that we are available. Polish Troya and back to back. If it is loud, Echo. If it is not loud, Echo. In a way that everybody will sit together, understand that this beautiful game of football, basketball, tennis, lawn tennis, whatever you want on Echo Sports. I am Nujela this very Wednesday.
All right, I just let you know that this evening we'll be rushing it. I'll make sure that we bring you up to speed with a whole lot of sports stories in our hands this evening. Remember, we're live on Facebook on Echo FM 100.7. Echo FM 100.7. That's a Facebook page where you will join us this evening to be part of the show. All right, let's begin with table tennis. The defending champions, Nigeria, they've pulled up a surprise, not a surprise anyway. They are the defending champions. They've qualified for the final of the under-15 team event at the ITTF African Youth Championship after they defeat host country, Ghana, by 3-2 in a thrilling semi-final clash. The encounter lived up to expectation because Nigeria, as well as Ghana, battled fiercely for a place in the final, backed by passionate Ghanaian fans. The Ghanaian side did all they could to make sure that they, stopped the defending champion from marching on to the final, talking about Nigeria. But trust me, they did march to the final. Omar Ayula was the man who has emerged as the hero of Team Nigeria after he delivered two crucial wins that helped the Nigerian side, the defending champions, to make it to the final. With a tie evenly poised, Nigeria made sure that the final game was their own after they beat the host nation. The victory keeps Nigeria on track for a successful defense of the under-15 boys team title as they now turn their attention to the final in pursuit of another continental crown.
Ayola has actually been the man who has carried the torch for the under-15 boys, but at some point you can actually see him advancing to other age categories. And the situation he advances into the next age category, what happens to your under-15 category? Going into the world of table tennis, we keep on hammering that now only Arokodare Tolu will sabi for table tennis. In the situation he decides, and gradually age is no longer on his side, and his body is actually telling him that that Ashley Plumter made a comment when it comes through to representing Nigeria. In talk say the spirit is willing, but the body is saying something else. You understand? So the spirit is willing for Kadri, but the body go to tell him, we don't try. Over 2 decades of dominance for Arokodare. Let someone else come through. Ayola is looking like someone that can actually take up the torch. At some point, we had Segun Toriola, we had Arokodare. Probably Ayola could be the next person that can carry the torch for the Nigerian table tennis game. But yes, on the 15 level, it seems like Nigeria is a dominant. You understand when you've gotten to the fact that you are a defending champion, you're coming up against a host city, a host country. It's going to be you against a hostile environment, not just the opposition alone, but against a hostile environment. The fans and also committee, local organizing community will be there. They would put everything to ensure that they put you off your game. But ultimately, Nigeria came through a very narrow game, 3-2 victory, 3 games to beat the 2 that was recorded by Ghana, closed on there. But when it comes down to various sports and also going down to economy, we can see Nigeria and Ghana always battling against each other. But ultimately, in this particular under 15 category for ITTF games, Nigeria came through. Let's see if they can do it on consecutive, win the under 15 ITTF Championship on consecutive basis.
All right, moving on to football. Nigerian Super Falcons, of course, they now stand a chance to receive a record $2 million. That's if they mark the champions of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. This increase in money prize was announced on Wednesday by the Confederation of African Football CAF president, talking about Patrick Motsepe. He announced this particular increment during the CAF Global Conference held in Johannesburg, South Africa. The new reward, of course, represents a significant boost in CAF's investment in women football and provides additional motivation for the participating teams. The Super Falcons of Nigeria head into this particular tournament as favorites. There's no doubt about that because they are 10 times champions.
And they want to make it 11 times. And when we are putting it 10 times champions, I want us to also understand that they are the most successful team in Africa.
Yes.
Men, female game, they are the most successful team in Africa. And also, we spoke about the dangers of the expansion of the tournament, where there will be teams that will come through
to compete.
Yes, the route to the finals will be longer than how it was before. We can actually see that from the just concluded 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup, where we went through round after group stage, come the entire round of 32 before we got to round of 16. And so it come long. So as they're expanding the women's game, we should also understand that a lot of various areas would also be expanded. That is the prize booster. Patrice Motsepe has been expanding a lot of things. At some points, going into Patrice Motsepe's reign, the Women's African Cup of Nations, they were earning about $200,000. So you can actually see from under his reign, you can see that Patrice Motsepe has ensured that the prize pocket for the winning team has increased, as well as going into not just the winning team, but also getting into runners-up and also those that finished third place, and then going down to how you finished and what you merited to be given to you. And also, when you look at the prize pool, saying how things have come through for CAF and women's football. Gradually, women's football is getting through. Cape Verdean women, they are making their debut. Looking at Tanzanian women, they are making their debut. By next campaign, we can actually see someone else coming through. So far, I think it has been, apart from Nigeria, it has actually been just 2 other countries that have actually won the WAFCON, Guinea-Bissau, I believe, and Zambia. And Zambia is in Nigeria's group, the Super Falcons group, the Shipolopolo of Zambia, and they've been training so hard. They've been having friendly games with Nigeria. It's something that we are just a far cry for Nigeria. But hopefully with this, it brings a different approach to the game. Teams who definitely would not relent to give it all out and also help promote the women's game. In other times, those in charge of football sectors in various countries will be looking at what are we gaining from women's football. But now, $2 million, you can actually see that there's a whole lot to actually take up as revenue, and also possibility that they will go on to increase it. Now, 2027, we are looking at FIFA elections. We also definitely will be looking at Patrice Motsepe. Definitely, he will want to run he want to run again and continue being CAF president.
All right, don't forget that, of course, the stakes are high because despite apart from the increment in money price, there is also the need for qualifying for next World Cup edition. Remember that the 4 teams that will make it to the semi-final will qualify automatically. So for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, it's not only about the money, which is possible for them to grab. Like I always say, I have a lot of confidence in Nigeria.
Last time at the World Cup, they made it to the knockout stage. They came up against England. They would have beaten England.
It was just that's
Rich James' sister. Rich James' sister. You go collect red card. You know say, and also Chelsea blood. Chelsea people, they both male and female, but they say that's in the past. All things have gone away. We need to move forward.
Definitely. So the $2 million increment in price. Remember,
$2 million.
$2 million. I beg your pardon. the CAF are also saying that this is also to motivate other countries or countries of the of Africa to grow women football.
Yes.
Because the man is not talking about only increasing this money. He's also talking about investing more in women football in Africa. I must confess that this increment will be a huge motivation. All right, moving on. I'm still talking about the the international conference held in Johannesburg, South Africa. The Commission of African Football (CAF) has officially accepted the joint declaration of interest submitted by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to host the 2032 African Cup of Nations. The decision follows a productive meeting between CAF President Motsepe and the presidents of the federations involved, the three federations now. Now, the joint bid is being spearheaded by Alliance of Sahel states, with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic seeking to stage Africa's biggest tournament together for the first time. Now, I want to thank CAF because, remember, the Sahel is a new, like ECOWAS, is a new political, economic, and whatever force forming.
Countries from the Sahara region of Africa.
Now, and you know politically what they stand for. And now these guys want to make a point. They're already making steps to have their own passport, their own currency, and so many other things. And now they are seeking to host AFCON. And I'm very happy. I want to say congratulations to CAF for accepting that this particular
they have no
country,
choice but to accept it.
These guys are making
they have no choice to accept it, because in this situation CAF would open their arms and tell every country, please come through and declare your intentions. 2027 Lebo Mega Morocco. When you look at 2027, sorry, it's Pamoja. When Tanzania, Tanzania, and also going over to 2030, 32, we are looking at a joint bid. That's if it's going, if they are going to win it.
It has been accepted.
It has been accepted, but definitely other countries would definitely want to declare interest and compete to see who would get that particular upper hand to host the AFCON. So in all this, I'm going to say, okay, probably they are rotating it in Kaabaro, West Africa. If Ghana has brought up some kind of discussion, let's host some kind of a joint bid. Probably, let's see if Nigeria will want to.
We did it with them in 2000. Ghana, Nigeria, 2000.
We are in 2026, going to 2027, 2032. Take it since 2000 till now. At 2000, Amona Laminyama. He's a World Cup winner now. You understand? At 2000, there are certain people that they were now. Ellen Haaland,
most of the names, of course, definitely.
So the prime players of the young players are coming through now. 2000, they are not there. But at the end of the day, when last you said that's the last time Nigeria hosted the AFCON with Ghana. But you can see that it's now something that is coming through. Even the World Cup, they are doing it. 2030 World Cup, Portugal, Morocco, and Spain. And before we get into that, it's going to start off from South America,
Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina.
You understand? you understand how it's going to be a dynamic. They say it's celebrating the centenary of the World Cup, 100 years of the World Cup, existence of the World Cup tournament. So it's going to be unique. So from South America, a couple of those countries that will participate there will then fly from South America and move to Europe. Some of them will move to Africa, depending on the slot. That is, if you're playing in Morocco, you're moving from South America to Africa. So
I think that brings the beauty of this game, and I'm happy that the same thing that's happening at the world stage also happening in African stage, because CAF commended the three nations for their collective ambition and commitment to strengthening the regional cooperation through football, describing the initiative as a significant step towards promoting unity and development across the continent. The acceptance of the declaration of interest marks the beginning of a bidding process, like you rightly said earlier on, with three countries now expected to continue working with CAF. Now,
Burkina Faso na the country where you get one particular person will be their leader.
Now him be the thing.
So in the two things in the political, we are also involving the sporting sector. You understand?
In today's world, if you check the way things are going,
sports are taking the forefront. Yes, see what is happening in Saudi Arabia. Look at what is happening in the when you go down to Arabian part of the Africa. When you go, that's Morocco. Looking at Egypt and the rest of them. So if we take a live, one certain time they say don't join the bandwagon. You understand? But certain times you have to. If you can't beat them, you join them.
All right. Moving on, talking about the meeting that took place earlier today. I must confess also that CAF President Motsepe has praised Nigerians Samson Adamu for his performance as the acting Secretary General of the the Continental Football Governing Body. Adamu was appointed as a CAF's acting secretary following the departure of Veron Mosengo Omba, who went to contest for his country's football federation, DR Congo. Now, speaking on Wednesday during the CAF Global Conference meeting that took place in Johannesburg, South Africa, Mosepe commended Adamu's commitment, work ethic, describing him as a dedicated administrator. Is this endorsement for permanent job?
You can say it's actually Kilonia Kiri, but also you understand. I keep on saying that, and then when you talk about endorsement, it doesn't take away the fact that
Definitely, and
if
you give him more
better, definitely. Since they don't give you something, they do well, and they show dividends. When you go into let's take reference from the Bible. When the master and the servant, he gave the first servant about 10 talents.
The one that uses
5 talents, gave the second one 3 talents. The one that uses they multiplied it. So now, so far, for the praise to come true means that he's doing something good. He's multiplying
and
what has been given to him.
And
his job could be multiplied. It can be from acting. It could go into permanent. At the end of the day, he still has the authority to say, no, I don't want it on a permanent basis, but this is what I want. Everything is all about ambition. What does the man want? Right now, it has given him the, okay, you've gotten more like the presidential handshake, you're doing well, and those in the footballing sector have seen that Adamu is someone that, when it comes down to administrative level, he's doing great. Nothing stops Adamu coming through to actually vie for the president of Nigerian Football Federation. We can see that the individual, his predecessor was actually there and left to go and vie for an opportunity to be the president of DR Congo. And we have seen the progress that DR Congo has actually made in recent times. And going into the fact that Adamu has actually done well, I don't know if there are certain people that are looking at his work ethics, looking at the innovation that he has actually picked from, and also looking at definitely he is close, General Secretary, close to Patrice Motsepe, and definitely close to he is in the corridor. He is amongst the seats of power.
Those that decide what happened in African football.
Definitely, so he can come through to Nigeria and help grow Nigerian football in a situation that CAF has actually been experiencing a lot of positives when it comes down to the financial aspect of governing football governance in Africa. He can actually come through and relate it back to Nigeria, and we can find how we can improve because when we talk about the financial situation of the country, certain people criticize the fact that NFF and also looking at the league body for MPFL, they are standing on the fact that by next season, going into the 2020, that should be the 2027-2028 season, that the least when it comes down to salary should be 2 million. A couple criticize and everything, and then going down to that should be the Director General of NSC, stating that if you can't do that, then what are you doing as a football aspirant? Why are you doing Why are you here? We need to improve. We need to show these players that there is a lot that you can gain from Nigeria. Why pay them peanut and ask yourself why are they leaving anyhow? At the end of the day, are saying that they are not doing well over there. They're on the bench, but what they are being paid just sitting on the bench is okay. So let's improve on that. If you can't do that, definitely say even if it's 5 or 6, no problem. Let's run our league. Pay better. So Adamu can come through and do something for Nigeria with what the experience he has garnered from CAF, and hopefully that is my own takeout of it. And so far the positive remarks that he has gotten from the CAF president
is worth it. All right, it's still Echo Sports on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri with me, Kachi Sports, and nobody Sports Chelfa. Now we're still looking and talking football, with respect to African continent, and I just want to let you know that Sierra Leone Premier League champions, they call them Bo Rangers. They have withdrawn from the 2026-27 CAF Champions League due to financial constraints. Can you imagine? We were just talking about Canada. The club confirmed that it will no longer represent Sierra Leone in Africa's Premier club football competition, citing financial challenges as the reason behind their decision. Now, Bo Rangers earned qualification for CAF Champions League after winning the Sierra Leone Premier League last season. However, the club has opted against participating in the continent tournament because of financial demands associated with the competition. What are we saying?
And also, not just that they are the defending champions, but reports have it that in the past 4 or 5 seasons, they've won it about 3 times. They've been league champions. So
what they do at the end
of the day, how much are they winning? That's another thing.
Even if it is 10 naira, if that 10 naira is just used, are you telling me that they can't save money out of winning?
You don't know how things are for them. You understand? When it comes down, they say there was this report that I came across, and they stated that that should be under Abramovich when he was at Chelsea. That he spent every week he spent millions of dollars. He spent millions of pounds running the football club, but at the end of the day, he just gets to celebrate trophies won, laurels won, and all that. You understand? So certain times running a club takes a whole lot.
Sometimes it can be just passion.
It can be just passion that is getting onto it, but ultimately, they've come out to say that internal factor has actually come out to be has played out and also been a bane of their problem not participating. So right now we do not know who is going to take up, but they are looking at the runners-up from their league, and ultimately CAF would definitely look into it and see if they pass. They have the license to actually play in the CAF Champions League, and also know if they will definitely go through stadium tour, know if their stadium is all right to go on to take it, and ultimately Bo Rangers, when I saw it, certain outlets, news outlets, they know how to, you know, this clickbait.
Yeah,
I saw Rangers. I was like, hey, what do you want to tell me? The League Champions, and you're telling me that you're not going to? No. And I wasn't going to take that, but Bo Rangers, definitely, this is where you have to look at preparing for the future. You spoke about savings and all, and also this is where sponsors will definitely come through, and a whole lot needs to be done. The president needs to be questioned. The president of those are the hierarchy of Bo Rangers, the executive. The question should be asked: are you not prepared for it? When you were playing at when you were playing during the 2025-2026 season, didn't you put into the mindset that you can qualify and actually make it to the continent, and in the situation start talking to sponsors and actually getting through? And also definitely CAF need to look into it as well, and because there's a whole lot to gain from participating at the this is a CAF Champions League, not even the Confederations Cup. So CAF needs to look into it and actually ask questions as well to the executive. Guinea Mega, why are you bowing out without even playing a single game?
All right. Remember, after the last edition of the Nations Cup, while I've been come from left, right, and center, but especially between Morocco and Senegal, and that matter is with CAS. And now I just want you to know that the Court of Arbitration for Sports has taken a significant step, and that is with respect to the legal proceedings concerning the 2025 AFCON final by constituting panel that will hear the case. So the first step has been taken. CAS has considered the panel. CAS officially notified the Senegalese Football Federation, known as FSF, the Commission of African Football, CAF, and Royal Moroccan Football, FRMF, of establishing of the commission that will adjudicate the case. The number of the case is 2026/A/12295, which is related to the AFCON final. Now, according to the communication sent to the parties involved, the hearing is expected to commence as soon as possible, but that's soon, with the arbitration panel set to examine the defense belief submitted by each side. The court also indicated that it will be awaiting the remaining responses from the parties involved. That means we've not had the whole response. That's what it means. The outcome of the case would be very, very important, and it will have a lot of implication as CAS prepare to review all the submissions before reaching a final conclusion. Is anybody on tension now?
Remember, the information stated that the panel would review the defense briefs that were submitted by each of the parties involved, and then they also stated that they will be looking at probably finishing statement or final statement in conclusion of this thing. How in a situation, they will say, not
after our adjudication.
Somebody will come out and say, I'm walking off the pitch. You can't walk off the pitch in the court.
Now,
this is the court. Order.
You have to keep quiet.
You have to keep quiet. Now, 3 people are involved. Senegal, Morocco, and CAF. Because it pay money everybody. If CAS will come through, for Senegal to go to CAS, that means that they are not comfortable with the appeal from CAF. Because the first case, I say Senegal got fine, Morocco got fine.
But then Senegal should keep the trophy.
And Senegal should give it. But Morocco say no. With everything that we saw, how can you tell me that?
They reapplied.
They appealed for it. Appeal let us give the trophy to Morocco. Let him game in. Senegal say it took a game in.
Let's get to the top.
Say I'm leaving this. I'm going to Supreme Court. You understand? Where's Supreme Court? They went to CAF, Court of Arbitration for Sports. Court of Arbitration for Sports panel has been rendered. Right now, it is A, B, C, D, whoever is there, but ultimately know that they are professionals that are handling this particular case for Senegal and Morocco, and also CAF is involved. CAF say they can't get wrong. This is what the rule says. This is how we're interpreting it, because right now it's all about interpretation of the rules.
The rules.
CAF has interpreted the first time. Going into appeal, it was interpreted differently. Court of Arbitration for Sports will also look at the rules and the rules of the game. They will go on to take where IFAB rules will come through, and also look at the rules that are coming from FIFA, because at the end of the day, CAF is under FIFA.
Yeah.
FIFA have their rules that they have to take, that CAF, Morocco, and Senegal need to take into cognizance, and the situation, who breached what, and also how are we going to go about it. Interpretation, this is where it matters, and this is the final bus stop. Your Blake was here. This is where it stands, and this is where it's going to end.
All right. Since talking about CAF this evening, I told you that we're going to be talking about Africa. You know, the World Cup is over, so we need to come back home a bit. All right. CAF President Patrice Motsepe has come out to praise the performances of African national teams at the FIFA 2026 World Cup, as he described the continent's performance campaign as historic achievement and, of course, evidence of steady growth of African football. Now, we're going to ask him a question later. In a statement which was, released Wednesday, it is still all coming from the meeting that took place earlier on today. Remember that
they spoke about a lot of things. So now we can't run to 10 hours.
Yeah, it's very important, because the conference is an international conference, and where so many things.
All eyes are on CAF. All eyes are on Patrice Motsepe.
Yeah, so the man is trying to be very careful, Now, the African representatives at the tournament where, of course, we know them: Algeria, Cabo Verde. For me, the heroes, African heroes of the tournament: Cabo Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, DR Congo, Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia. These were the 10 countries that went.
10 countries.
Now, and very interestingly, 9 of them progressed to the round of 32.
Now, after round of 32, how many of them?
The African representatives at the tournament, of course, according to Motsepe, Africa accounted for 20.8% of teams at the tournament, but contributed 21.8% of the nations that reached the knockout stage. Can you imagine how interesting that is? 20.8% participation, but 28.1% at the round of what? 32. What does that mean? Very good record. Moving on. But what happened after from that play, like you said? Motsepe signaled out Morocco for reaching the quarterfinals, at least on the back-to-back. He did that. That's okay. He also thanked those that went to the round of 16, talking about Egypt and the rest of them. He also praised the performance of Cape Verde, Senegal, and the rest of them. Now, he also talked about how to improve on this that has been, this particular achievement, how to improve on it, what should be done going forward. But the day again, I didn't hear him talk much, which is what I'm going to ask you, give it that time. I mean, what I call it is inferiority complex. When is this going to come over? I mean, what should we do? I was expecting, apart from this praise and whatever, I think CAF should set up a think tank to look deep, if possible a committee, to look deep into this particular. It has been happening over this last World Cup, if you remember. African teams, trying to give Africans hope, trying to do well at the beginning of World Cup matches, but when it matters most, you see them the victory slipping off their hands.
CAF is in no position to set up a team to look at why Senegal let a 2-goal lead sleep. They don't have the right to also set up a panel to look into the case of Egypt letting a 2-goal lead sleep. You understand?
Congo, I can remember.
Why I'm calling these two teams? Congo almost one goal. You understand? But and you can see they held it for a very long time. You get going down. But look at Egypt. Look at Senegal. Senegal, 5 minutes to go. 2-0. 5 minutes to go. By extra time, all the same about penalties. No. So in this situation now, it is actually the countries. But you can actually state that Patrice Motsepe, as much as you are pointing it out to these individuals, you're pointing it out to these countries that, bravo, we are clapping for you. You people did well. 10 countries, and only Tunisia shamed us. They are shamed, they shame me. 2 different coaches. And at the end of the day,
they could not even progress.
They couldn't even get 1 point. You understand? You tell them like that, look at their face and tell them what are people doing. Do better. You understand? They say the rod is there to correct. It is not there to kill. You correct the child with a rod. So by the time you actually give them stern word, you talk to them and tell them that A is A, B is B. B can never be C. You understand? You put it to their faces and actually tell them that we need to improve on this, and then tell them to go back and actually work on it.
Okay.
It is where you can actually come out and make comments on it and tell them that what we saw it's abysmal. It's very poor.
He did. There's something important he said. He said that CAF is reaffirming their commitment to investing in football development across the continent, which include youth football, the growth of youth football, coaching education, domestic leagues, and national teams.
To me, I'm going to tell CAF to focus on coaching education. They need to focus on coaching education, because when you look at the cases of Senegal and Egypt, you can actually see that it is not the players. The players did their job, but the coaches were those that played. I would actually say that they think that they won the game far too early. But when you come up against teams like that, European teams, you come up against South American teams, you need to focus till the final whistle has been blown. You can actually see what happened with Argentina. Argentina they whip Cape Verde. Cape Verde were fighting. They were holding their ground, playing a defensive game, but they made use of the opportunities and they scored and pushed that game into extra time. And unfortunately, it was an own goal that was that was their undoing. And then going into teams like when you see Egypt meeting the same Argentina, when you see Egypt giving hope, selling hopes to Egyptians. At the end of the day, what happened? That is where the coaching experience actually comes through. So coaches need to be taught how to game management, because there's something that that should be when you look at that should be if Troy Deeney or one of the former players in the English Premier League, he actually stated that when you as a player, when you are on the field of play and you are leading by a goal or 2 goals up, and you actually see that the opposition, they are pressing and they are trying to score a goal, and then the coach goes on to take off an attacker and bring in a defender. Automatically,
you are bringing more pressure on yourself.
Automatically, the mindset has been changed without the coach telling you that. Okay, probably
the players who
the coach wants to use the attacking qualities of the defender, but you. See that the defender is coming in. Your mentality has changed. You go on to anybody that comes to you're not even thinking of holding it. You're looking at it. You could just balloon.
All right. I think Mustafa also said that he also stressed the importance of improving football infrastructure across Africa, saying that every CAF member station should have stadiums that meet CAF and FIFA standards. Very important. Very important. All right, let's move away from Africa. Still Echo Sports on Echo FM 100.7 over. With me, Kachi Sports, and Nobody Sports Chef. Let's journey away from Africa. Let's begin with what's going to happen, talking about the English Community Shield match. The Community Shield marks the first feature, of course, of the domestic season for the English League, and it will now be staged for the first time now. It will not be taking place. That's for the first time in 2 decades now. It will not be happening in England. Fans across the world will tune in to watch the Premier League Championship, of course, as well as the Community Shield. Now, the Gunners head into this particular encounter. It's going to be definitely between Arsenal and Manchester City. Now, the Gunners head into this match aiming to build on another title-winning campaign, as Enzo Maresca will manage the English former champions, talking about Man City, for the first time as their main coach. Now, why is this game not taking place in Wembley? A major change of venue will see the clash move away from Wembley, the usual stadium, and now it will be going to across to Wales. This is due to scheduling issues with the pre-planned summer concerts taking place at the national venue. Now, that's why. Now, the official statement released by FA confirms supporters will now have to cross the border into Wales, and that will now mean that the match, the 2026 Community Shield match, will be played at Principality Stadium in Cardiff on Sunday, August the 16th. So, it's no longer going to be in because of concert schedule.
Because of the concerts, you understand?
You see the way that people arrange themselves.
And another thing is where you have to look at the organizers of the Community Shield. You also have to fault them as well because is it that I knew when the
though it's not the first time this has happened.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
I knew when this particular issue came up and they were like looking at if this concert will hold or not. But when you are in a developed environment,
nobody tends to change things anyhow.
The person goes or and those in charge of the Wembley Stadium have said that it is legitimate. Definitely, you organizers of the Community Shield, you people should definitely go and look for somewhere else to play your game. Yes, it is something that this is a game that kicks off the English Premier League season, and also looking at two heavyweight giants. Though when you look at the jinx that is in the Community Shield, if you win a Community Shield, you're not going to win the league. You understand? So when things have come through, Arsenal, I believe Arsenal did not win the Community Shield last season, and then they went on to win the Premier League. Probably they want to they want to continue that particular part. But at the end of the day, a lot of things are coming through for Manchester City. Manchester City, they are looking at a huge transition, going to like 8-9 years under Pep Guardiola, and now they are with the former assistants of the Pep regime, and also looking at a couple of players actually departing from the club. Bernardo Silva departing from the club, and also reports have it that Real Madrid have agreed terms with world champion. I'm going to put it that world champion and World Cup Golden Ball winner, best player at the World Cup. Talking about Rodrigo. So when you see how things have come through, they might be without their key midfield pivot, and they definitely will need to bring in more players to ensure that the vacuum is filled. Because there are certain times when a coach leaves, you can see the team drop, the tempo drop. You can see that in Liverpool when yes, the first season after the Cup era, they won the Premier League under Ancelotti. But the second season under Ancelotti, where's Ancelotti now? Has been sacked.
He's gone.
Liverpool struggling to make it into the top 4 of the Premier League. So it's going to be a whole lot for a team that has actually maintained back-to-back appearances, winning trophies in almost every season. They are winning, getting their hands on the trophy. But one thing is sure is that they have a man who can win them trophies. Talking about Enzo Maresca, he won.
He knows how to win.
He has won
He's a winner as a coach.
Club World Cup, a couple of European trophies. One day brought Leicester City back to the Premier League before Chelsea snapped him up. So he is a winner. He is a winner, and definitely Manchester City have a winner. But now the players that are available will they want to work under Enzo Maresca after many years at a particular level with Pep Guardiola. That's another question that the Manchester City fans will need to ask their players, the administration, as well as Enzo Maresca.
All right, let's go on now and give you one or two updates. Now, report coming out from Wolverhampton Wanderers says that they cancelled their training on Tuesday after Nigerian striker Tolu Arokodare refused to leave the pitch when instructed to train without the first team. Head coach Cesar Pizzetto is said to be taking a firm stance against indiscipline and player power. Now, extra security, according to report, was deployed at Captain Park today to prevent Arokodare from accessing their training ground. He will also not be included in the squad that will be traveling today or have traveled already today to Maidenhead United for a friendly. Now, moving on, we are getting news out from Argentina now. We hear that Argentina Federation will take legal action regarding disinformation campaign targeted to Argentina and their players during the World Cup. There will be a defamation lawsuit focused on false allegation, manipulated or unverified images and accusations made without evidence. The Federation of Argentine Football said that they are going all out, and it will not only target major media outlets, they will also target Twitter accounts, Instagram, and many other platforms. The legal team of the Argentine Federation will be collecting evidence, publication, and other documents. Now, I want you to add, just even if it's 1 minute before we go on to the please, the fight that Argentine players started misbehaving. That's what I'm going to use on air, and that's what it is. Because they started literally attacking Spanish players after the final. Let's begin from that one. What would that is also, that was like, for me, I am someone that thinks that the Argentine Football Federation are trying to make a mess of themselves because their players, truth be told, do you know during the World Cup presentation, they backed the Spanish team The tradition is that you stand in front of, as a second best team, you stand in front of the winners. But when the trophy was being presented to the Spanish side, the picture has gone viral. The Argentine players were backing the Spanish players instead of applauding them, but they were looking at their fans. They backed the Spanish players. I mean, they show a lot of desperation, and I'm surprised that their FA are coming out now to say they are preparing for.
I'm not going to give kudos to their disrespect with the way they attacked the Spanish players and actually pushed them down. Even looking at Paredes going physical with Gavi in that encounter. FIFA has stated that they've launched investigation into that post-match scuffle, but at the same time, it does not give you the leverage to actually go out of proportion. This is where Argentina is coming through. This is where the Argentine FA is coming through. Because, yes, this is what happened. But you do not take that as an opportunity to say things that did not happen.
We are going to wait for those things that they say don't happen.
So that is where they are going.
We want to see that.
That is why they are going into the social media. Those that actually they looked at the views as an intense online backlash, and they are sweeping across all social media platforms when it comes down to those who are targeting the Argentine team, as well as not just the Argentine team but the citizens as well. They lost in that particular game. They stated that it is serious enough to warrant aggressive legal action, and this is what they are doing. They are preparing a wide-ranging defamation lawsuit in response to coordinated online disinformation. Remember, information that is not correct. Now, waiting the look at the moment. So they stated that that disinformation, as well as hostility that has been directed to their players during and after the 2026 FIFA World Cup. You understand? So when you look at how things have come through, FIFA have launched investigation and also looking at how will there be specifics when it comes down to legal jurisdiction. Who is going to hold the case? Who is going to serve the sentences? And also how are they going to get those who are actually going around the world
to pick them?
Picking them. Are you going to actually meet out these owners of these social media accounts and actually tell them to ban this? So ultimately, we are looking at all these controversies involving Argentina as well as other nations, because other nations are also
have their own
grudges against Argentina.
All right. Moving on now. Let me tell you this interesting news. The fact is that we might be going into 2030 World Cup with elite selection of managers. Those key managers, those grade A managers we see in club football. Don't be surprised. In 2030, we will see them in country football. Why? At the moment, Jurgen Klopp has received a here we go with Germany as the next coach. Pep Guardiola is heavily rumored because we even heard that he has had a contact with Italian FA. Zinedine Zidane is taking over
French national team.
And already we know that Brazil has Carlo Ancelotti.
This is interesting. There 2030. Unless something happens, you understand?
This is exciting news.
Probably we might actually see Cristiano Ronaldo taking up Super Eagles of Nigeria to the 2030 World Cup.
Are you kidding me? You're just kidding me right now.
I kid you not. I kid you not.
All right, Spanish head coach, talking about Coach Luis de la Fuente, has entered in the history book of football because he has become the oldest manager to win the FIFA World Cup after leading the La Roja to the tournament glory a few days back. According to news from FIFA website on Wednesday, De La Fuente, who is 65, surpasses Vincent de Bosque's previous record set when the former Spanish coach guided the national team to the World Cup victory in 2010, which was held in South Africa. Now, de Bosque was 59 years old when he did that in 2010. De La Fuente triumph now has placed him above the predecessor as the oldest coach to lift the trophy. The achievement marks another milestone for De La Fuente's managerial career, having previously, led the Spanish youth teams, not team now, teams to international glory. Under his leadership, Spain continued their tradition of success on international stage with the World Cup, victory on Sunday. Interesting.
It's like the mustache where De La Fuente no gets. They make him look young. Because if you tell me that he is,
he looks older than
he looks younger than the Bosque.
The Bosque.
Vincent de Bosque, remove that mustache. That is white mustache. You understand? But ultimately, you can see the trajectory after winning that 2010 World Cup. Spain actually they struggled. A struggle with Germany. At some points, they couldn't actually make it out of the group stage of the World Cup. But so far, I can see the trajectory and where they are right now. They are world champions. And you can see the progress that De La Fuente has actually brought through for the Spanish. And looking at this particular team, young players, young stars, 21, 18, 17, going into
Very
25, young players. So
People he
going
picked
into
from-
2030, where they are going to host.
Somebody will get more mature.
Yes, where they will host. Kobasi should be like 24 going there.
At that time.
Lami Yamal 24 as well going into that particular. Pedro Porro could be like 29, 30. You understand?
Prime.
So yes, a couple of them may not be there, but you can actually looking at De La Fuente. If he's still
Continues
going to be
to
at the
approach,
end,
yes.
he would definitely want to bank on the youngsters. He has been with the youngsters. He trusts them, and we should expect more youngsters coming through for La Roja.
All right, before we open the phone line, because it's time for us to hear from you, I just want you to know that in case you're doubting, in case you don't know, you should know the clubs that have the highest goal at the World Cup. I mean, the clubs that their players scored more.
You want to bring an argument now?
No, this is not an argument.
You are going to cause problem.
No, I'm not causing any
You are
problem. If I mention your club, no, you score. If I don't mention your own, don't call me. Now, Madrid take first place because they have 22 goals. Their players scored 22 goals. Kylian Mbappe 10, Jude Bellingham 7, Vinicius Junior 4, and Adagula 1. Paris Saint-Germain came second, 15 goals. Arsenal third with 13 goals. Ogula, I didn't mention anything. Anything you say now, it's on your own. You are on your own. Then there are other records that were broken at this World Cup, compared with the previous World Cup. But maybe in the next edition of this particular, program, we'll begin to, roll out. There are so many things, so many records set, others broken, and the rest of them.
Always have one cause problem. I say, if people go on Facebook now, you people will see Man Wisabi as he's pointing his hand. Don't figure they are up and down.
I didn't mention any club.
You see,
it's only
that in the next edition of this particular Echo Sports program, he is going to tell you.
Yeah, we're going to give you so many records.
Did not participate at the World Cup. He's going to tell you the record that a certain player did not make it to the World Cup despite boasting of this and that. But regardless, 0911 20,022, 0911 20,022 or 0707 454114. 0707 454114. These are the numbers to call to join the conversation, as well as sending a WhatsApp message or Facebook reaction. We are live on Facebook, Echo 100.7 or Echo FM, ECHO FM. ECHO 100.7 on Facebook and YouTube as well. You will see us live, as well as sending a WhatsApp reaction 0707 491 3438 0707 491 3438. Hello, good evening. Who's on the line?
Mr. V Master.
Eleman has come early today. Eleman, but it will take 1 minute today. Biko.
You can wait.
Wahala man.
Wait. Call me controversial man. I go accept him. Wahala, no wahala. See, he talk wahala now. Say move, no talk. How can you be saying Madrid they score 1 million goals? What of Spanish? What of Barcelona that carry that trophy? Every
bro, I gave record now.
Wait,
bro, so no be record I give take them now. What is something I do for you?
Wait.
Why is anytime when they call that club? If they don't call your club now, wahala.
No. You get the issue now. You go here. Understand? What of the? What of the?
I talk out.
Wait. What of the? What cup where Spanish they carry? The Spain they carry. Not the Barcelona they bring them. Have you talked that record? Have you said that record? You score goal. After that, go. He scored 1 million goals. It doesn't make any sense. Barcelona players.
Anyway, Eleman. I know sir, now I talk say I beg in 1 minute because what would they argue now? You know what we they give start as to what happened for the World Cup. We are saying that the club that scored highest, calm down, so that when you're arguing it will be sensible. Now, bros, now let's be sincere. See, we are looking at clubs that score highest goal at the World Cup. Madrid number 1. Paris Saint-Germain number 2, Arsenal number 3.
Yeah.
Please, did your club Barcelona or players of the club Barcelona score? And I did not include them.
To beat these 3 teams, we are looking at.
That's what we're looking at now. Teams. We're not looking at who other. You're going on other things now.
Okay, the 3 things they are looking. They forgot the major one. The major one is that trophy.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right.
No problem.
All right, we'll look at the clubs. Tomorrow we'll look at players that help Spain,
Spain win the World Cup.
definitely.
Yes.
All
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much,
brother.
George
Thank you.
man. Hello, good evening. Who's on the line?
Good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
Okay, my name is Fuente. I'm calling from Wolverhampton.
Uche, you're
Uche,
welcome.
Okay. You see, I got a shame to this World Cup. This is the worst World Cup I have ever watched. Yeah, even if for somebody to say that FIFA on the officiating, we are favoring them, there is nothing there. It is a pure truth. FIFA, the officiating system, had wanted the club to go to Argentina. Only that.
Allegedly. That's your personal opinion,
Yeah,
my
bro,
brother.
he's saying it. That's not alleged.
Watching this World Cup.
It's your personal opinion now. One
Yeah,
name,
it's his
okay.
opinion. I am
That's
not-
the thing now. Yes.
One clean goal. The first goal they scored was a clean goal. It was ruled out. Courtesy of poor officiating.
Okay.
Another one, they told us that it was outside, which we know it's really outside. But the idea that he didn't score that goal against them, it would have stood. Courtesy of FIFA's orography. They are
But did Argentina score?
Good.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tochi. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, my
But
friend.
I think this makes us at the end of the day, this is all allegedly, of course, like you rightly put it. But let nobody stop anybody from saying their mind.
No,
All right.
that's what the
of
ground
course.
is clear. Say your mind. FIFA orography, Messi should have been giving golden ball.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's an insult
It's
to
all
give
opinion,
Rodri the
yeah.
golden ball.
No problem.
Mbappe is not for Barcelona.
No problem.
The winners of the World Cup is Spain.
No
Those
problem.
who produce the players are Barcelona.
No problem.
They are all opinions. This is what we are. Banter is there. Bring out your banter, but always have the facts.
Very
That is
important.
why we are here
all right.
for you.
All right, let's go to the Facebook page now. We have a couple of messages there. Victor Ihana Choi Kenya God says, Dede Kachi and Dede Nobo, good evening, sirs.
Good
Please
evening.
throw me more light on my United transfer news. All right, we don't tell you yesterday. Say United, they did active, but in activeness, it gets more leg. Also, Francis Namane, Magan Namane, watching us live from Amaguzenugu State. Good evening, my people in the studio, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
We appreciate.
Mobility John on Facebook says, hello, good evening, sir. How are you doing, sir?
We are fine.
doing
We
great.
are
Thank you very
mobile. Are you mobile also?
Are
Got
you mobile?
mobility.
Mobility.
Hello, good evening. Who's on the line?
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
All
right.
That network
All
is
right.
starting to act up. 0911 20,022, 0911 20,022, or 0707 454114, 0707 454114. These are the numbers to call to join the conversation. Also, the WhatsApp platform is available for you to send in your reaction. 0707 491 3438. Hello, good evening. I'll do well to
that
call
one's
back.
gone again. Good
Hello.
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
My name is Augustine. I'm calling from Amafo.
August, you're welcome.
I like your program. I shall say to say hello to you.
Kudos
you,
to
thank
you,
you,
Augustine. Kudos.
Thank you.
We appreciate.
Okay, bye.
All right, goodbye.
Thank you.
Yeah, since they come through, you get. We appreciate the fact that Barcelona brought the players that won the Spanish national team the World Cup.
It's
But
so
it's
cool.
not individual glory. This
No,
is
it's a
bringing
teamwork.
glory.
No, it's a
This is
team-
bringing glory to the country.
The country.
Not even to Barcelona. It is okay.
the country.
You can actually give kudos to Barcelona. Also give kudos to Xavi Hernandez, because Xavi Hernandez looked at Paul Kubasi as well as
And
Lamine
picked him.
Yamal, and
Picked them.
he was confident in a 16-year-old Lamine Yamal to
And-
come through in an injury-laden season for Barcelona, and
that
you know,
has, sparked off a lot of positive reactions.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
It's Prince from Wolverhampton.
Prince, you're welcome.
Yeah, I want to talk about that Madrid, like Kylian Mbappe. I'm not sure Kylian Mbappe is good for Madrid, so I think Madrid should pay him
Are you serious?
and
You done, man.
junior.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. So, a bit of an update from the transfer scenes. Inter Miami have announced the signing of former Real Madrid and Manchester United midfielder, talking about Casemiro,
is still
who
fit to play
arrives
for Europe
on a
now.
free transfer to join forces with Lionel Messi. With
Chineke.
Lionel Messi, Real with Inter Miami. We're still not certain about that.
Araganato.
Looking at Alejandro Garnacho, as of yesterday, we told you that there were links to Aston Villa from Chelsea, and I can tell you that it's exclusive now. Aston Villa agreed a deal to sign Alejandro Garnacho from Chelsea, and it's actually here we go from here at Echo FM. Now we can also tell you that Liverpool have made an initial approach to Monaco for French winger Magnus Aklioche, who have checked in. They've actually checked in Liverpool. They've checked in on the potential availability of their target, and looking at more updates coming through. Each return have added to their Premier League armory with the acquisition of Issa Diop for Fulham. Remember,
wow.
Issa Diop
The
scored
Morocco
a goal
defender.
for Morocco in their run to the quarter-finals.
Okay.
Meanwhile, reports from Czech Republic are linking bulldozing striker Thomas Chevry with West Ham. The Slavia Prague forward was involved in a controversial incident against rival Sparta Prague late last season, and now he is looking forward to actually
Stepping
leave
away.
after being an outcast from the Chance Liga Champions. And I believe that will be a bit of the transfer update right here on Echo Sports.
All right, that's much we're going to take this evening. Thank you so much for being part of the show. But before I go away, I have seen an update on somebody I respect so much. He is a defender with class, a very small but mighty man. Luka Modric, we hear that he has signed a new contract.
1 year
AC Milan.
contract
1 year.
extension.
Beautiful. All right, that's much we're going to take this evening. Thank you very much for being part of the show. Without you, you are the VIP. We are just here because you're there. And without you, we can't do it. My name is Kachi Sports. My first call me Man Wasabi. And I've done this with my reliable partner. No other person but
Noble the sports chef, Noble Chigos Rim. I appreciate those on Facebook who sent in their reactions, those who sent in their reactions on WhatsApp, those who called in. You people are the real MVPs. And this is where I'm saying buenas noches. Until tomorrow.